doesn't really give it any justice though, so imagine this. 1 light year is around 5.9 trillion miles, and would take you around 95,000 years to travel if you were on board the fastest aircraft in the world. So 95,000 years times 1.8 billion. That's how long it would take to travel from one end of this supervoid to the other. Just its existence has baffled scientists, as the size of the void is much larger than anything previously predicted. It's almost too big to exist. It's just like a giant missing gap in the universe. The supervoid is thought to be only 3 billion light years away from Earth, which in cosmic terms is a relatively short distance. So why is this discovery so important? Mainly because scientists have no idea why there is an empty void, and believe it could be the cause of a cosmic microwave background cold spot, which is also another space mystery. It's a section that is unusually cold relative to its surrounding area that was discovered in 2004. It's situated in the constellation Eridanus in the southern galactic hemisphere at the furthest reaches of the observable universe. It's been the subject of many theories, but now with the discovery of the supervoid, scientists are exploring the possibility that the cold spot is actually caused by the supervoid. As radiation travels through the vast void, it would lose a lot more energy than if it was traveling through normal space, which could cause a cool imprint that would result in a huge cold spot. So that is the suggested explanation for the cold spot, but it and the supervoid still leave us with many unanswered questions that are forever reminding us of how confusing the universe is. The sounds of space. Here on Earth, we hear sounds because they travel to our ears by vibrating molecules. But since there are no molecules in space that are suitable for sound to travel through, it's commonly thought that space is silent. But this is not technically true. Despite space being a virtual vacuum, sound does exist in the form of electromagnetic vibrations. And not so long ago, NASA were able to design special instruments that were able to record these vibrations and transfer them into sounds that the human ears can hear. I will just play a few different sounds from space. They are truly wonderful, similar to the sounds in my underwater video, and are actually quite haunting. Put some headphones on if you have any, and take a listen. Those are truly amazing and really do speak for themselves. It sort of makes you realise how vast and eerie space is and how many wonders must be up there. So next time you're outside, even after watching this video if it's dark, just go gaze into the night sky and think about how much is out there and how insane it is that we're just floating in this thought to be infinite thing we call the universe. It's truly incredible. So that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed and see you next week for 5 times we humans came close to extinction. Over 4,000 years ago, the ancient Egyptians ruled a significant part of the world. Who were the Sea Peoples? For nearly a century, a band of mysterious maritime warriors repeatedly attacked Egypt, Turkey, Syria, Palestine, and other territories, and no one could match the power of their mighty warships. They became known as the Sea Peoples, an unknown civilization, who wreaked havoc on ancient Egypt and featured heavily in inscriptions and carvings left by the Egyptians, who documented their reign of terror. But it seems that despite these detailed records of their attacks, little or nothing is known about who these mysterious people were, where they came from, or where they went. One of the first references dates back to the 13th century BC, during the reign of Merenptah, who claims to have killed 6,000 of the mysterious seafarers after they allied themselves with the Libyans. However, the most detailed accounts comes from Ramses III, who fought a series of catastrophic battles against the Sea Peoples around 1170 BC. One inscription reads, "They desolated its people, and its land was like that which has never come into being." He described the Sea Peoples as consisting of a mixture of tribes, including the Sheridan, Peliset, Benyan, Shekelesh, and others. What isn't known is why the Sea Peoples attacked in the first place, although it has been speculated they may have been displaced from their homeland by either famine or natural disaster, although this is only speculation. Whatever their origins, the Sea Peoples returned to Egypt in the mid-12th century BC, intent on conquering Egypt, but Ramses III led his forces to the defense of his kingdom, and after defeating the Sea Peoples' army on land, he decimated their fleet at the 1175 BC Battle of the Delta, where Egyptian archers lined the bank, with many believing he was weak and sickly, and may have been assassinated or died in a chariot or hunting accident. But in 2010, scientists found traces of malaria parasites in his mummified remains and revealed that malaria, combined with a degenerative bone disease, might have been the real cause of death. Mystery solved. Not quite. In 2018, a new theory came to light after analysis of leather armour found in the Boy King's tomb. It revealed that it was well used and had probably seen action. Contrary to other theories, Tutankhamun may have met his death in battle. If this were true, it would counter the idea that he was a weak and sickly leader. This theory could also explain why Tutankhamun had no heart, which could be a sign that he died far from home, and by the time his body arrived back to perform the mummification process, his heart was too decayed to preserve. Despite this new research, the cause of Tutankhamun's death is still one of ancient Egypt's biggest mysteries, and the source of considerable debate, and with no records found of his final days, is likely to remain that way for the foreseeable future. The Lost Land of Punt. The mysterious land of Punt is a lost kingdom, and the existence of the region is only known because of its mention in ancient Egyptian records, although its exact location is still undiscovered. The writings suggest it was a rich place that prospered between 2450 BC and 1155 BC, and was a trading partner of Egypt that produced gold, aromatic resins, ebony, ivory, and wild animals. A relief located in Upper Egypt shows a variety of trees grew in Punt, suggesting it was a lush tropical land, and for many years, researchers have been trying to pinpoint the location of the mysterious land.